Hey, good evening, and welcome to another episode of Off the Dribble, presented and powered by the Warner Robins All Stars. Exciting day, man. It was a full day today. The Washington football team won.
Hey,
extremely happy.
Everybody know the ball team won.
Talk about it, coach.
Oh man, it really ain't nothing to talk about. A little light work today. So-called America's team, we just got after today, man. Played, great football, man, like we do.
There you go.
Records. We've been in almost every game, man, and we just took care of business today like we supposed to.
I got you. Coach G, what's popping?
What's good, man? All good.
How was your day today, man?
Oh man, it was exciting, man. I had a blast. All day today. So went up to the Jared Pro joint.
Hey, you got something already.
Right, Angela, get on his head. First thing.
They hating on the ball team already. Hey, she can't get mad because them Falcons lost. Yeah, 1-6. Falcon 1-6, y'all.
But yeah, man. So went up to Jared Pro joint. So it was some good basketball. Girls playing basketball, man. They was after it, competing hard. So playing with good fundamentals. So it was good. I enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, man. Shout out to Jared and the whole pro movement and his team up there, man. First class event. Everything was good from the door. The hospitality was good. A lot of talent in the gym. A lot of energy in the gym. It was actually refreshing to see, man. The girls got after it, playing the right way, making things happen. So again, shout out to him, man. Coach Tack, he was up there. What you think?
Man, I tell you, man, a top-notch event, man. Like you say, well ran, well organized. I mean, got in and out of drills, in and out of games, with no games behind. The girls got equal amount of, time, for exposure. So, I mean, college coaches was there. I mean, that's all you can ask for, man. To be in that type of environment, what's going to happen tomorrow, man, with the start of basketball, high school basketball. So, I mean, like you say, shout out to Jared, man, and thank you for having us up, man, and
definitely
being there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that was big, letting us be up there and experience it and sitting in there and doing some media stuff. So definitely shout out to him. Shout out to our guy Juke. Kyle Sandy was up there. Medlock was up there. They even had Willie Reffin, man. So
my boy Willie, the best ref in the world. Willie technique is, I'm telling you, is A1, man. You ought to be an ACC ref.
Oh yeah. Hey, he ain't missed no calls that he ain't.
No, he ain't missed no calls, man. He was letting them play.
Oh yeah. So definitely, man, it was a good afternoon, man. So definitely was excited about that. But our show kind of Coach Tack kind of segued to it a little bit. High school basketball is getting ready to start tomorrow, man. So our guests for today, we got Coach Fox and Coach Garman. But before we bring them on, we definitely want to give a shout out to our sponsors, KPB Designs, Hype South Media. Oh, got to give a shout out to Wasey. Wasey was in the building.
Yeah.
Today up there as well. Hype South Media, Hype South Skills Lab, 619 Training. Definitely, as always, man, we appreciate you all sponsoring us, giving us that support that we need. And then before we get to that, we got a couple of other just footnotes that we would definitely want to push out there. Charles, you want to bring those flyers up?
Yeah. So as we all know, man, it's early voting is still out there, so you still can take advantage of that until October 30th. So if you stay in the local area here on the voting sites, so definitely make sure you get out and vote. Get out and vote. Get out and vote. So if you haven't done so already. So these are the early voting sites. That will change on November 3rd. Then you have to go to wherever your district is for your address.
Right.
But for now,
it's important. It's important, man. Don't complain if you don't vote.
That's right. That's right.
Definitely that.
Right.
Definitely that. Charles, let's go ahead and bring the other flyer up as well, man.
So Coach Tap also.
Go ahead, man. Hey, man, this is something very very near and dear to me, as well as Coach Garman and the Demon family, man. This chipping away cardiac car show, man. This is the 9th annual one for our late coach / like a father to us, and many more. Coach Malone, man, Miss Cynthia is carrying on the tradition that he started at the he had his heart transplant, and he started the heart healthy thing, and push and try to push the taking care of your heart and get your checkup, your blood pressure checked, and all that stuff, man. And she's carrying on the car show. This is the 9th year. This is the location, Home Depot. And you see the date and all that stuff, man. And so, if you're in the area, if you ain't got nothing to do, come out and see some of the amazing cars that show up, for this event. And if you got a car that you want to put in, some of your old school cars, man, come on down. Registration $25. To show your car. They got prizes and trophies and stuff like that. They have food and different vendors there. Whatever you want to see, man, it's nice. It's very nice. And like I say, this is the 9th year now. We've been working it since day one. So, just proud to keep that, helping Miss Cent keep that going.
Hey, definitely two big flyers, man. We definitely gonna bring it back at the end of the show for reminders as well. But two good causes. Definitely get out there and vote, and then definitely go out there and support Coach Malone and the initiative. So big shout out. So without further ado, man, let's jump to our guests. Charles, you want to bring it to the stage?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we're joined today by Coach G, Jamal Garman, Warner Robins High School varsity coach, boys coach.
That's right.
Coach, what's going on?
No, that's how you doing, fellas.
Good. And we got Coach Alicia Fox, Northside Lady Eagles varsity coach. Coach Fox, what's going on?
Good evening, guys.
Good. Hey, it's good to have y'all back on the show. So we kind of in the season now. Season starts tomorrow as far as being able to kind of get your eyes on, who potentially you can have on your squads this year. So how you guys feeling about that?
Feeling pretty good. Obviously, there are a bunch of uncertainties, but you take it one day at a time.
Yeah, I'm glad it's back, man. So just gotta see how it goes tomorrow and through Wednesday. And hopefully some guys step up and show something they can do. It's always tough to get a surprise.
Right. So trials actually start tomorrow then. That's correct?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Okay. Now, have you been able to have any contact, or the kids been able to get in the gym any prior to tryouts to kind of get in their head and know what they need to expect come tomorrow?
Yes, we've been doing some training, some conditioning and stuff with them. So they got an idea of kind of what's going to be like, these next couple of days and throughout the season. So they got a leg up right now, but that doesn't really matter, man. You gotta put the work in and be ready to go.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Coach Fox, what about you?
Yeah, we've done several weeks of conditioning and small group workouts. So the majority of my girls have been active. So it should be a smooth transition, but we'll see come tomorrow.
All right. Good. Well, I'm just excited that it's finally this time again. And everything that's happened with COVID and all that stuff, man, that there's a way for the kids to be able to get back on the court and for us to have a basketball season. And we was kind of talking before the show or whatever, but Coach G, I'm gonna ask you this first. How's all the COVID stuff gonna affect you guys at all?
It's gonna affect us a lot, man, as far as attendance at games. Not being able to sell season passes this year is gonna kind of hurt our budget a little bit. So hopefully we make it up somewhere. But the main thing is, keeping everything clean and cleaning up their timeouts, cleaning up after games, before games. It's just, cleaning all the time. So just a little bit more work, but hey, I do a little bit more work so we can play. No problem.
Yeah. Coach Fox?
Right. Just those extra precautions that everybody's trying to take to make sure we keep folks safe as long as possible so that we can make sure the season lasts as long as possible. Basically, that's all you can do.
Right. So before I throw it to the rest of the crew for their questions, I'm just gonna go ahead and get this plug in real quick. So from what I understand, we're looking at maybe 25-30% of participation or crowd being allowed to come into the gym, right?
Right. And then especially on like away games, we have no control of how many people that let inside their gym. So it's kind of just a situation where we got these away games that we're going to, and we got fans that may drive there and not be able to get in because of the capacity. So it's going to be one of those seasons where you're going to have to just be flexible, man. And understand. I know people going to be mad, but please don't get mad at us because all we can control is, calling plays and calling timeouts and all that other stuff. We can't control everything else.
Yeah. No, I got you, Coach. Coach Fox, I'll let you go ahead and speak before I make my last comment.
Right. So we've been told we got a certain percentage that can come in. We've been discussing pre-sale tickets, season passes to try to make sure, parents get first dibs, all that sort of thing has been in discussion. Some things are not concrete yet. We're still brainstorming. So trying to do the best we can with that.
No, and I'm sure you guys will. I just wanted to make sure that when these discussions about how many can come into the gym, that myself and Coach Charles was included in these discussions as far as whatever percentage needs to be, to make it work. That's that's all I wanted to make sure.
I knew it, man. I knew it. All right. Like they tell me, all right, we got you.
Hey, we got to secure our spot. Then we can worry about the rest, Coach.
I don't even, me and Coach Charles, I don't even think we're a whole percentage. I think we kind of like 0.5%, right?
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah, you need us to sweep the floor between quarters or whatever the case may be. We willing to, chip in when we got to do stuff too.
Yeah, man. It was a crazy little rule on the rules clinic I saw today where like if the ball goes out of bounds and it goes into the stands, well, we got to stop and sanitize the ball.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, got to stop and sanitize the ball, man.
Yeah, at softball games they've been doing all that.
Yeah, so we gotta have disinfectant wipes on the bench then.
Yeah, gotta have that score table too.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Did Angela have a question?
Yeah. So I think that's part of that's what they was kind of going through was it depends on how big or how big the gym is, how many people it can hold, and it's a percentage of that. So if you have to hold 300 and it's 20%, then it's only going to be 60 people allowed in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
From my opinion.
Yeah.
You're right. All right.
Well,
it sounds right. I ain't got my calculator, but it sounds right.
I guess the good thing is that both schools, Warner Robins and Northside are in their new gyms. So that kind of opens up the capacity. Is that
Nah,
correct?
if you think about it, our old gyms were seating like 900. So now we're gonna be seating less than what we were seating in our old gym. So
Oh, in the
no,
new
it ain't
gym.
gonna be like that.
Yeah.
The old gym we used to play in, they seat right around 900, 950, something like that. So you can imagine how those gyms are that when it's packed in there, that's about close to 1,000 people. We're gonna have to have less than that in the new gym, like 6 something, 630, 640, something like that.
Oh,
Right.
wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
So about 630 people in our gyms, Mr. Andrew. If these jokers don't want to answer the question, I don't know what's going on with our post on here.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with me, but hey, you know, with tomorrow, that jerk chicken, jerk chicken working on that joker, boy. But like for tomorrow, man, y'all got. I mean, I know y'all got stuff in place, you know, for tomorrow, man. You know, due to this COVID stuff, you know, what are some of the things y'all got in place?
Checking temperatures, of course, and man, that's gonna be our first time with a bunch of kids in one time, trying to see how we actually do it. I mean, coach has been around, you know, high school stuff and being able to see it, so she probably already got legs on what she want to do.
Our numbers aren't nearly what y'all's are, I'm sure. So it's a little bit more simple for me as far as like spacing girls out during drills and, you know, making sure folks aren't breathing on each other's necks. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Right.
have that many in the gym, so it's probably a little more simple for me.
Gotcha.
So let me ask you this, because both of you guys will have auxiliary gyms, so to speak, now. Are you planning on kind of breaking up the varsity from the JV, or the freshmen with the JV and the varsity, or has any of those thoughts went into play?
Well, yeah, we got the auxiliary gym, but you got to think the girls will be practicing in the opposite gym. So whichever gym that we're practicing in, the girls will be in the opposite gym. So it's gonna be some long days. It's gonna be some long days having to stretch practice out and, you know, disinfect after certain practices and just doing all that stuff. So it's gonna be a good work for us.
Yeah. So has there been and Coach D, you can jump in after this, but has there been any conversation as far as if somebody, you know, is in a class with somebody that gets infected and it affects players that you got on your squad?
I'm just not on wood for that, man. You just had to put it out there and everything. Understood. But yeah, we talked about those things, man, and hopefully nothing like that happens. But it's gonna have to be. We're gonna have to go through the process with it. You know what it says you gotta do.
All right. Coach Fox.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility that'll end up happening, that they end up quarantined or whatever. We're gonna have to make adjustments.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we all knocking on wood that definitely doesn't happen. Just, you know, putting it out there that there's a game plan in place. That's all.
Now it's been a change with the 15-minute rule now, right? There's no more 15-minute rule. If you've been around somebody, and I think that's what I heard. You've been around somebody that's tested positive, you automatically have to quarantine no matter how long you've been around them.
Yeah, I don't know. It's changing area. It's some changing area.
Yeah, I think I want to say that just came down. But that's something that I know we'll have to be aware as well. And man, who is this lady up to my with a statistician get in the game? No, I don't know who that is, man. Am I getting in the game? No, they ain't letting you. You got to pay like everybody else. Ask a question like that. Can you get in the game? We ain't even had no game yet. You already asking you get in. Oh,
that ain't me, man. That ain't me, coach.
Ain't but two people in your family getting in the game, Fred. That's your son and your daughter.
Good.
So I don't want to ruin it for any freshmen since tomorrow is the official first day of practice, but will you guys even be picking up a ball, or is it tryouts? It's actually tryouts, huh?
Yeah, it's tryouts tomorrow. Yeah.
It is.
So I guess you
Yeah.
got to somewhat pick up a ball. I don't know how hard you guys are going to be on them that first try.
You don't have to pick up the ball the first day of trial.
True.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. So we can hurry up, cut the numbers down. I need to know you in that waste of time, man. Coming there, you can't even do it. You right-handed, can't do a right-hand layup, man. You in the way, man. You in the way, man. You are in the way. You're in the way.
You gotta go and get that out the way.
Hey.
Gotta go and get that out of the way. So we picking up a basketball first thing tomorrow. Now Thursday might be a little different. Now we might not see one Thursday.
So, Coach Garman, you have a list out before the end of practice to go out there and check the list, see if you.
I can't tell my process because they'll be looking at me then. They'll be watching me. Oh, he don't like him. He ain't write his name down. Oh yeah.
Coach Fox, I mean, how do you know him to go through it? With I mean, at least the first day anyway.
Well, it's gonna look different this year. Like I said, I had a good majority that would come to conditioning and small group workouts. But then I also had some who didn't. So we'll see tomorrow. I got some things in store. It's gonna look a lot different.
Oh,
I'm not gonna let the cat out of the bag now.
Yeah, because I know you probably got one watching right now trying to figure out what's gonna happen.
Probably so.
Pain.
You know it.
Pain. Like Clover Lane.
No,
there you go, Coach Fox. You got comment directly to you.
Miss Anderson. We miss y'all, man. We definitely miss y'all.
Man, so with the roster, you know what y'all got coming back. How do y'all foresee the season going with some of the kids you got coming back and talk about, I guess, a couple of the kids you got coming back. Coach Fox.
Oh, I thought you were directing it to Garman. My fault. I lost a big group last year. I had 6 seniors. Majority were guards, and we stay guard heavy for the most part. I don't have too much size, but I got 2 senior guards coming back. Y'all know Kamaya Ridley contributed a lot last year. 2 softball players who are, athletes, not necessarily basketball players, but they, are X factors as far as rebounding or defensive, whatever assignments we give them.
Right.
So good, solid start with upperclassmen. I do have a bunch of juniors and a bunch of freshmen. Mackenzie Arline is going to contribute a lot again this year. Hopefully she's got the mindset that she's going to lead and contribute a good bit. And then y'all know I have Alea Grain, Destin Seaton, who could potentially end up contributing on varsity as well, as long as they behave like varsity players. I can see them doing a lot for us too.
I know one of the two. You're gonna have to put that foot down early.
Mm-hmm. That's the majority of them, though. That's the majority of them. Not just one.
Hey, that Lil Green, I love to death. Now I do. I really do. I love to death. But boy, goodness, boy, if she ain't got that Trey Green in her. Lord have mercy. She's a sweetheart, though. I love her to death now. But boy, I tell you, boy, she got that Trey Green in her, boy. I ain't gonna be long.
And just shout out to Alea, man. She was up at the camp today, out there contributing and getting some work in. I think she learned some lessons, right? I think she was up there and kind of understood that she still needs some work to put in or whatever the case would be, but she was still competing. So definitely shout out to her.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think that's important because they're freshmen, right? So they're still learning a lot and learning how to impact the game when things aren't going their way. Right. There's all the little things you can do to turn the game around and have an impact and make your team better. So I think those are the things that I seen from a lot of freshmen. So that was up there. So I know a few freshmen that was up there from Middle Georgia. Like what was the other little girl from?
Talia Greer.
Yeah, Talia Greer. She played with a lot of energy.
Out of Central, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
She played with a lot of
Okay.
energy, and she was knocking down her shots. So she had a really, really good showing.
Yeah, I think the only thing I would advise for her is to go ahead and get the knee pads and the elbow pad right now.
She's
She's
still on that
staying
front,
on the floor.
but
What
it's
was
a
that?
hustle.
Dwayne Wade thought get knocked down, get right back up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with hers is a lot of hustle though. It ain't like she just
100%. It wasn't that she was. It wasn't that she was clumsy or any of that type of stuff. She's diving for balls and taking charges and doing whatever she needs to do for her team to succeed, man. So again, refreshing just to see that energy out on the court, especially from a freshman.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Go G, what you got?
We got this year's team will be probably more than likely led by Greg Jones or Sean Tomlin, two guys that are returning for me with a lot of varsity experience. So I'm leaning on those two guys a lot, man, to just be the leaders on and off the floor. Got some other guys coming in: Ethan Elliott, Rashawn Williams, Jamal Brooks. Those guys are coming in. They don't have the varsity experience, but playing against the varsity each day in practice, that gives you some kind of idea of what it takes to be on that varsity level. So now they just got to translate to those games, which is in times in the crunch. Now you need to be one of those guys we can depend on. So that's what we'll be working on right now. Right here after these trials are over with. Leaning on a bunch of guys we come from football too as well. So I know they'll make a deep run in the playoffs. So I'm really not counting on those guys till around January sometime. So it's gonna be a fun process, man. It's part of that we like because we don't know about this team. We know what we expect, but just not knowing what they're going to actually bring every single day and watching these kids grow throughout the process is what it's all about. And hopefully they can get those 20 wins at the end of the year and try to make it to the Final Four.
Coach, now you normally find a hidden gem in that tribe every year.
Yeah.
Think you're gonna have one?
I hope so, man. I hope it's a big old joke in about 6'7", 6'5", 6'7", somewhere in there. That can walk and chew bubble gum and can catch the ball off the rim, and hold it to his chest a little bit. But the last guy we found like that was Shamar Rouse. He was one of our guys that we found in the tryout and ended up being a starter for us right there and led his team to what we go to Elite 8 or something like that.
Elite 8, yeah. So,
yeah, Elite 8. It was good, man, to be able to find one of those guys in there. So like I said, you just never know. You got to roll that ball out there the first day, let them go play, and see who really wants it.
Coach Fox, you ever find any of those hidden gems during trials like that?
It's been a minute. I had a couple my first couple years. Y'all remember Shorty, Deja Dunham with the short but strong would dive on the floor like you were talking about with old girl. Like she was all of 4'10", but played like a 6-footer. That's how much heart she had. So she had actually come from Coffee as a 9th grader, and she had family down there. So we'd go to Coffee County to play games, and everybody'd be like, "Hey Deja," So that was the big one that I've had since I've been at Northside. I hadn't had one in a couple years. None of those pleasant surprises.
Yeah. So there is a bright spot within tryouts. You can find some hidden gems.
So this is a pretty good question. We all have to sanitize the court between the games.
No, not the actual court, but like the chairs that they sit in and everything else like that. Basketball and all that good stuff, man. So we'll be a cleaning crew around that too.
Hey, so kind of speaking of that, are they gonna like once the girls play, do parents have to leave and then parents can come in, or is that something that you guys are still kind of working through? As far as like the varsity girls play and now that game's over with, those parents leave and now the varsity boys players will potentially come in.
We hadn't talked about in between varsity games. We've played with the idea of between JV and varsity, or since our boys have a ninth grade team, between ninth grade and JV. You
Right.
know, as far as we don't want those ninth grade parents, JV parents who don't stay for the varsity game, for that number to count towards our 630 for varsity. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because that would take away from, you know, our income and what we get to keep. So we're playing with the idea of either having people leave or maybe even using our auxiliary gym for a ninth grade game, a JV game. That's just one of those things that's not set in stone yet, but we have discussed it.
Okay. Coach G, y'all had any?
Yeah, same man. We there's nothing written in stone, man. We really don't know. I'm just gonna be honest with you. We don't know how we're gonna do it. I would hate to have to ask a parent to leave out of the gym and then pay to come back in and watch another game. I mean, I hate to ask them to do that, but that's what we got to do, and that's what the school system said we got to do. But it's gonna be, like I said, it's gonna be a touchy situation with the attendance at this year, man. So y'all just be patient with all what's going on and understand. I know you might get there early. I don't know, man. It's just gonna be one of those seasons, man.
Now, and I'm gonna throw this out there, and hopefully this hasn't come up or it will result to this. But has there been any conversation about no spectators?
No,
Like
shoot, no,
none?
man. How we gonna make money? We gotta pay
Right.
these gotta pay these doggone referees too. Yeah, please. Yeah, we
Yeah.
gotta have people coming to the gym. So
Okay.
no, we never discussed that.
Okay.
I mean, I talked to Coach Garman quite a bit about, you know, what we went through with the AAU season, man, and you know how good of a job that Hussein did and Sean Williams did, you know, with the things that they were doing, and you know they had a bunch of teams coming in. So I mean, just like the spectators coming in, you got a bunch of teams, kids, parents, and you know, etc. A lot of times what they did was if they had one or two courts. I think the first tournament we had like Sean was playing on two courts, and what we did was, you know, the four teams in there. You got the four sets of parents, you know, per team in there, and everybody else waited. When that game was over with, those parents and that team moved out, sanitized. Other teams went in, they played, and that's how. And you know, that's the hoop scene. They did it that way, also. So that was just some of the things that they did, man. And you know, they you know, pre-sold tickets online and stuff like that. So I mean, they took extra precaution as well. It's kind of like sound like the stuff that we'll have to do too. With the sanitizing of the ball and this, you know, spraying down the chairs at the half and all that stuff. So and you know, I kind of talked to Coach Garman a bunch about what I seen them do. That kept their numbers down, and matter of fact, I don't think they had any cases. I don't think during the summer, so it kept all their stuff down and kind of talked to them about that stuff too. So you know, hopefully, you know, the things that we seen during the summer can translate to some of the stuff that they implemented in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. I know the travel circuits, man. Like you said, hoop scene and on the radar and all that good stuff, man. They have procedures in place and put the guidance out prior to tournaments to make sure people understood as far as what the rules were. You know, coming in one door, going out another door,
Yeah.
spraying down, sanitizing, no shaking hands after the game, all that type of stuff. So yeah, it's kind of what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right, and they did also have temperature checks for spectators as well. So yeah, it's just going to be a different time. I think it's one of those things, kind of like Coach Garman and Coach Fox both said. Spectators, parents, or whatever the case may be, just have to adapt to it because it is going to be different. Nobody really knows what it's going to be until we get into it and actually start
Mm-hmm.
seeing the games and the games being played as far as what the precautions and procedures are going to be. So, you know, I'm sure I can speak for the both of them on just saying, you know, just be flexible and ready to adapt and still come out and support when you can and how you can.
That's right.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you this. I think Georgia High School probably should have got with some of those guys, man, and to ask them and talk to them about what they did, because they was going by all the CDC protocol as well with what they were doing, you know. And I think I mean they did it first, so I mean they know what the crowd, like you say, the crowd coming in, the teams coming in, you know, and that's why, and that's like I say, that's why when I seen what they were doing, and I asked questions to Sean and people like that, and Ty Young and people like that, and I translate that information back to Coach Garman, like, hey man, this is what, you know, they were doing, this and the other. So I mean it goes hand in hand. I mean they actually had fans and people there first. And like I say, they had no cases that I know of.
Right.
You know, between the tournaments that they had a good bit of them. I think 10 to 12 apiece. And you know, and that's with an average of at least 30 to 40, maybe 50 teams. So you talking about with 10 kids, that's over 500 kids. And that ain't include parents. So, you know, you got all of that traffic and you have no cases. So, I mean, they actually did something right. And I think they should have at least called those guys, man, and ask those guys, what did y'all do? Instead of trying to, you know, playing stuff in the unknown.
Yeah. Seems like it's just being left in the coach's hands and the school's hands, and whatever happens, then it's on the school anyway. So, you know, they're just trying to wash their hands of the situation, but that's something totally different to talk about.
Yeah. I'm just glad I was around to see it, so I can be able to translate that information back to you. So you'll have a heads up on, you know, what we can do.
That's right.
Prevent some of that stuff.
Yeah. So I think I think we've talked about that enough, right? And we hope that everything's gonna work out the way it needs to work out. We're gonna put procedures in place. Everything's gonna be all good. So now let's get down to the meat of the schedule, right? So everybody's schedule's out. So Coach Fox, I'm gonna start with you. Tell us about some of your hard hitting games that you're looking forward to. Well, I'm sure you're looking forward to all your games, of course, but which ones kind of mean a little something more to you? Hoko.
All the So you trying to start something?
Coach Johnson
Be
trying to start something.
Be a myth.
Clock right here.
I didn't start that. Hey, Coach Johnson started that.
I'm just saying, Coach Johnson said his piece, and I'll tell you what he said before you answer, Coach Fox. Coach Johnson was on, and Coach Johnson said he will go undefeated in the county. Those were his words.
Verbatim quote, huh?
That's what I heard.
That's what he said on the show now. He said,
that's so myth.
I didn't say pull the tape up.
Hey, guess what? My girls and I love a challenge. I'm gonna say that right now. So in county games, definitely will be competitive. It's always a good game with Warner Robins, always a good game with Hoko. Veterans, always good matchups. Aside from that, we do have Jones County on the schedule twice, home and away. So those should be really good. Region games, Valdosta is always, you know, top tier, competitive. And then we got Upson Lee on the 24th. Upson Lee girls are always pretty good. We're going to Upson Lee, so it won't be a home game, but those are some good ones. And we actually got Lowndes. We try to play them early. Like last year, we played them earlier in the season, but because of, you know, making adjustments with schedule and all of that, we had to push that game to the last game of the season. So we'll play Lowndes at home in February.
Okay. So y'all got Howard as well. Howard normally pretty tough.
I hadn't seen Howard in several years. It's been a minute.
Coach Coleman,
it's been a minute since I've seen Howard.
Yeah, Coach Coleman does a good job. With those girls up there at Howard now.
Who was that?
That was to you, KP.
Coach Coleman.
Who is that?
What, coach at Howard?
No, at this comment.
Oh, that's Jordan Brown's dad, Corey.
Oh,
Hey,
Go,
Corey,
we ain't trying to start nothing, man.
Corey,
We just calling
saying,
it.
I wasn't trying to start it. I just said what Coach.
Yeah.
I just said what Coach Johnson said. Now, and actually, I talked to Coach Johnson the other day. He told me to reiterate it because he knows we won. I just kind of reiterate what he said. No, I reiterated what the man said. Now, Coach Simon on the other hand, he texts me right now. He say he wants to smoke too now.
Uh-oh.
Hey, I'll just what?
All right, shit. All right.
I'm just saying.
I mean, it's okay.
Hey. So
oh boy.
Hey, okay. So I'm gonna do it for you as well, Coach C. So
Yes, sir.
Last year, Hogo got y'all right.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
No, not last year.
Not last year?
No, your phone last. Don't do that.
Oh yeah, that's the year before that.
That was the year before last.
That's when they had Sloan.
Yeah, that was after the
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
all right.
Don't do that. No.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, I remember. I mean, I remember.
I remember.
It's nice. It's nice. It's cool.
Before last, yeah.
Okay. All right.
right.
Let me get off that then.
Yeah.
Hey, why you ask that one? Why you ask that one?
Because I was saying,
I know, right?
So, because from what I understand, as I remember it, they hadn't beaten you guys in a while, and then you know, it was a thing. Matter of fact, yeah, that's right, because that's when I think Keyshawn was hurt.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Keyshawn was out, right? Yeah. So, and I know.
Yeah, that was his junior year. That's right.
Yeah. So you know, like, but it ain't a thing. So you know, I ain't starting nothing.
Yeah, it's always a competitive game against them, man. It's always competitive. They're in at home because those guys, you know, they want to beat us. We want to beat them. So it's gonna be always competitive.
Right. So what about what's your schedule as far as your schedule? You know, besides your county games, because I'm sure you know you want to take care of business there. But outside of that,
start off with Macon County with a scrimmage. You know, that's gonna be, you know, something good for us. We always like to go against those guys because Coach Rice down there is gonna do a good job. Those guys will be ready to go. We got the Heights South Hardwood Invitational, what Coach is putting on. It'll be in our gym. That night we'll play Heritage. So you know, Heritage has those guys that are 2 stud guards up there. So we got to be prepared for that thing. And we'll come back. We'll play Northeast. Northeast is gonna be good too. They got Trayvon Solomon up there. Does a real good job. And of course, Jones County, Coach Buck's gonna come down. He ain't gonna be playing around. He always want to beat us. We always want to beat him. So he's got guys that can play. Younger kid that's real good. Then Hoco, Upson Lee. Then we go to Atlanta. We're going to Marietta for the Lemon Street Classic at Marietta High School. My guy, Coach Hood, who used to be at Allatoona, he always invites us up and treats us well when we do come up. So we always go there, get some good competition in there. Where we win or lose, it's always for a bigger prize at the end of the season.
Yep.
And then we'll host our own thing here December 28th, 29th. That's going to be something new for us to do. Right now, it's scheduled for Upson Lee, Mitchell County, and oh man, who was that fourth one, Chad? Upson Lee, Mitchell County. God, Lee, hold on.
You got me on that.
Don't worry about it. That was a good one though. Oh man, I forgot the other team. But anyway, it's a 14 thing for us. It's gonna be a good thing for Washington County. Washington County gonna be
that's
that.
right. Yeah,
Washington County, because we had Johnson at Savannah, and we had New Hampstead coming, but they had to drop out because the county down there where they live at said they can't come that far away 2 days in a row. So hoping those guys stick in the schedule and we keep playing with those things there. And then we got the region, man. The region is new for us this year. We got Wayne and Ware and Coffee, who always has good boys teams. They go far in the playoffs too. So we got our work cut out for us. And then you got the Big Blue across town. They want to kick our butt too. And I know Trey and Jordan are ready to do that. So we got to be prepared, man. There's no cupcakes on the schedule this year. There never is any. So I don't like to schedule those kind of games because when we get down to the playoffs, that's what it's all about, getting out to state playoffs, winning the region, you know, being one of the top seeds in the region, to get some home games or state playoffs and, you know, go from there.
Yeah.
But
So,
it's gonna be a good process.
So you mentioned scheduling. Just kind of talk about that. Why is it important to schedule? Get a competitive schedule going. As far as what you're trying to get to, as far in the process, playoffs and otherwise.
Because I don't want to wait till the playoffs, to see what my guys do under pressure. I don't want to be in that moment where it's do or die. And now I'm just not learning that a kid really is going to fold under pressure when I'm yelling at him or when I'm talking to him as calm as possible and he's still not getting it or he just can't make it happen. I need to know that way early in the season. And I forgot our last game of the year is at home. It's going to be against Cedar Shoals. So we're going right into the region tournament, coming off a tough game like Cedar Shoals. It's already playoff mindset. So we ain't waiting to get to the region tournament. Oh, then we're going to turn it on. And then, we're going to go to another level and say, no. We already at that level, and we're going to try to just keep it there and keep grinding from there.
Yeah. Coach Fox, I'm going to ask you kind of a similar question, but as far as when you see the process of your team building, right? So early in the year, and then understanding who you got as players, and then building and understanding how you need to communicate with certain players and all those type of things. At what point during the season should you be peaking?
I guess it just depends on what school you're at, what region, because we only have four teams in our region. So all of our region games are after Christmas. So essentially leading up to region play, we're probably going to be tweaking offensive, defensive, seeing who fits what role in those different sets. So peaking, I would say January, and then you make whatever little last minute changes you need to going into postseason to figure out, what's going to be your best bet to win those games that count.
Right. So January, is that kind of halfway through your season? Where is that at as far as the game wise?
Yeah, basically halfway.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Coach G, what about you?
Oh man, it's gonna be hard to say when my guys should be picking this year because I believe our football team is gonna go pretty deep in the state playoffs. So it's gonna be a while to get those guys back, get them back in basketball shape, and then being able to do what we're doing. So hopefully around and by the end of January, hopefully. But that's kind of late in the season. But it's just the hand that we're dealt with this COVID stuff. They pushed football back 2 weeks. So I mean, that's what we got to deal with. But we'll be ready to roll.
So that's kind of another element, right? So the football players that are going to come and they're dual sport kids or whatever the case may be. So as far as kind of take me in that mindset, it's just as when you got a kid that may have been playing up or playing varsity because filling those spots for the football kids. If somebody's on a roll, do you keep them there, or when those football kids come back, that's varsity eligible or whatever? What's that thought process?
Nah, man, everybody got to earn their stuff. I understand you playing football. I understand that. Yes, you are behind, but this kid has been here. He's put the work in. He's got a leg up. I'm not gonna do that. It's just part of the game, man. It's just a part of how life goes too. I can't just walk into a brand new job and become the boss right out the first day. No, it's people that's already been there working already too. So they just got to understand that and understand that over here, Warner Robins is a process. I mean, ain't no handouts. There ain't no handouts. I know what you did for me last year, and I really do appreciate what you did for me last year. But this year right here is a new year. Kids have gotten better over the summer. They've actually put the work in. It might be some kids that got cut last year that might make the team this year. So you just never know.
And just a follow up to that, how do you, for the kids that are coming back that are going to be able to play and contribute, how do you kind of transition those kids in?
A lot of work and practice. Just a lot of mental work and practice, man. Being able to understand that it's going to be hard at times. It's going to be hard at times, and we don't need you to quit when it does get hard. We need you to be able to think in those special moments and push yourself through those moments. So it's a process that we have to go through. We as coaches got to go through it too because we expect these kids like Ethan Elliott. I expected him to be such a big guy for me, but I got to know too that it's going to be his first time playing varsity. You got to kind of take it slow with him. Rashawn Williams is another guy just like that too. So it's a process that I love to do.
Yeah. Okay. Coach Fox, do you have any kids that kind of fall in that situation?
Say it again. What situation?
That would be coming from another sport that may push into basketball. I'm not sure that you do. I'm just want to make sure.
I only have a handful of athletes that play a fall sport as well. So softball just got done on Thursday down in South Effingham. So I told those girls take a week off. We'll see them on the 2nd.
Yeah.
But nah, we don't get hit by too much of that. Not fall into winter sports. No.
Into this. Okay.
Right.
So, Coach, listening to another podcast the other night, Coach Lock, Metlock, with Love of the Game and Mondre and Coach Huff. Listen to them rank high major programs, low major programs, and came up to Warner Robins, and they were considering Warner Robins a high major program.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's big praise from some of those Atlanta guys that hadn't, I guess, I ain't gonna say.
Boy, I'm glad you said that. Boy, I'm about boy. If I was gonna lose my mind if you said something else different, but I'd been, bro. Let me call you right back, dog. I'll be right back on here in a few minutes. I'm gonna call up right now, boy. I'm about to see what's up with this.
It's not that.
Okay.
It was Warner Robins is a high major program.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is, if they see it as that, you obviously doing something right. But it's everybody have different opinions. But
yes, sir.
But coming from those jokers that's been around the game, that consider themselves, watching the game throughout the state.
Right.
And I think that's a big compliment. What do you think about that, Coach?
I appreciate those guys think, man. I really do look up to what they think as well. Those guys actually saw us, coming from nobodies and, just actually working up and just grinding out that whole time. Those guys saw it and they appreciate what they saw us doing. That makes us feel good. That lets us know that we're on the right track, but still got so much more work to do. Got more kids to get to school, more kids to graduate from high school. We want them, we want our guys to graduate and be successful men in our society. So we still got a lot more work to do with that. Even our young ladies too. We got a bunch of young ladies that were managers for us. They're all in the military. They're doing great things right now. So it's just fun seeing those young ladies and young men grow up and become adults and be successful adults. They can. I'm glad they're successful adults. I'll just leave it like that.
Right. Coach Fox, the success you've been having, entering the state playoffs year after year. Building that program, sustaining that program. What are some of the things that you do to sustain that program?
As far as expectations, we try to set the standard high. So one thing that is probably like minute detail, but on our schedule, we always make sure to put the playoff dates so they know we're going to the playoffs. We expect to get to this point in the season. I think otherwise it's a setup if you don't let them know in advance at the beginning, this is what we're trying to do. Let's not sell ourselves short. So as long as they see their coaches and our coaching staff having that mindset of, oh, we're going far, then they will as well. I make it a point that we write down goals as a team. They write down individual goals so they know, what to maintain their focus on throughout the season. In regards to on court, our theme this year is compete. I don't want anybody to think that they just got it so easy. I want us to compete within practice and especially when we go out to some of these places and play these, hard-nosed teams. But I think it all lies within expectations and making sure you verbalize it. This is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Good.
Right.
So, Coach, you kind of talked about, kind of hit on the head as far as mentoring and making ensuring these kids get off to, just graduating high school or getting them off to college. I'm sure you heard of the rule that just came out that the NCAA has, as far as giving these kids another year. Whether it's JUCO, D1, D2, D3. How do you advise the seniors and juniors through that piece? What advice could you give them?
I would tell them not to sit around and wait on somebody to come with more offers, man. I see that all the time on social media that these guys are getting so excited about getting offers. But you better hope that these schools have some real serious interest in you before you get excited about all those offers. A lot of times schools will offer you just to keep you from another school. So if you got some of these offers right now, I would go ahead and be looking at, a couple of them, being serious about a couple of them, because that transfer portal is filling up and these guys get a chance at another year to be there. So, I mean, I wouldn't sit around and wait for a specific offer from a specific school. If you ain't got it by now, slim possibility that it's probably going to happen, just being honest. Not saying that it can't, but it's going to be kind of hard.
So what about you, Coach Pop?
From year to year, it's slim picking as far as girls that I have that go to the next level. I think this past year was the first year that I didn't have somebody get a scholarship to play collegiate basketball. Darian Atkinson is at Toccoa Falls as a walk-on. But it's not as many. Like I said, our numbers are definitely down this year. But as far as girls that I do have that are committed to going to the next level, it's just not as many. When I do have to give them advice, I just tell them to make sure first and foremost that the school that's showing interest is also a school that they can study what they want to study. Because obviously we know that only so many people go from collegiate level to professional if that's a goal. So making sure that the academic part of it is what it needs to be. Whatever you want to study, make sure that the school that's interested offers it, first and foremost. And then just make sure you ask questions. I got girls who have gone on a visit, whether it's basketball, softball girls, and weightlifting. I said, okay, you went on this visit. What questions did you ask? Make sure you get clarification about, what they're looking for from you, what your role would be, whether or not you get playing time right off the bat. Some people are concerned about that. Some players aren't. Just make sure it's a good fit,
Well, let me ask this. Should we be preparing kids who feel as if they, and I'm just going to use D1, but this could apply for any level, D2, D3, or whatever it can be. If they feel they at that level with these rules that's changing, should we be preparing their mindset, saying, hey, here's what's in front of you. You may be a high level D2 player, but because of these rules, you may be getting recruited at a D3 or NAIA level. So, should we be preparing these kids' mindset for this, for these 2021s and 2022s? Because this is real.
I would prepare that mindset for that anyway. Just go ahead and be prepared for that anyway, because you don't know who's gonna come off of your scholarship. I was just sitting here thinking that with basketball, it's not like football. Football, you got 60, 70 scholarships. Well, in basketball, I only got 15 jokers on the team. And what if I only got 3 seniors and I only have 3 scholarships to offer? So when you get those offers like that to those schools, you got to think about that stuff too, because not very many basketball offers get out there like that, because you don't have many spaces like that. So when you do get an offer, be thankful for it and try to take advantage as best as possible.
And I know we also tell kids too, you can't go into your recruitment just saying, all right, I'm only gonna take a D1 offer. I say this all the time. If you think you're D1, but you're only getting NAIA interest, then guess what? You NAIA.
And that ain't a bad thing.
Right. It's not a bad thing at all. And we tell kids this all the time. As long as that school get paid for, your parents ain't got to fork out no money for that school, and it's the right fit. It ain't a bad decision. I don't care what level it is.
Oh, so I got to. So we was up at the camp today, and we had a conversation with Medlock. I think the kid's name is Clarence. Is it Clarence Jackson?
Clarence Jackson.
Yeah.
He grinded his out. He grinded it out.
Grinded it out. So Medlock said it was a kid when he first seen him. He's like, there's no way he would have told you that kid would play at Wichita State. This is where the kid is at now. So he graduated high school, went to prep school, left prep school, went to JUCO, left JUCO and went to Wichita State. So, and I say that to say everyone's journey is different. No one journey is the same. So your journey may be D1, D2, it may be JUCO, it may be prep. But as Coach was saying, if that's what's recruiting you and you go to school for free, that's where you go.
Yeah, man. You sometimes in life you can't pick and choose what you want to do.
No, you can't.
You can't. You got to go with what's given. The best opportunity is given at the time. Sometimes, that's the same situation with these kids, and that's what we try to preach to them. So some of them take the information and they run with it, and that's the type of decision they make, and some don't. And a lot of things don't work out for some of them. But they say they ain't been told.
And let me throw this twist in there. So both to Coach Fox and Coach G, as far as so the kid may want to bite on whatever offer they're getting, but the parent may be a holdup.
Yeah.
What role do you guys have as far as communicating with the parents in this process? And I guess it's one of those things, if they ask you your opinion or something along those lines, but I mean, we've seen that as well, right? So we've seen kids that are getting offers at a certain level, but the parent think the kid is better, or holding out and waiting for something better to come along, and it doesn't come along. So I mean, just having that realistic conversation with the parents. Coach Fox.
Yeah, I think it's a matter of letting them know, okay, this is what it is. It would be in their best interest to, like I said, ask these questions, and then depending on if it fits, don't be hung up on it's this level or that level. And there's only so much you can say to parents. They're going to pretty much have their mindset. If they trust you, if you're able to establish that trust between player parent, then it's a lot easier to have that open communication, and they'll be more accepting of the advice you have. But no, there are some situations where they don't trust what you're saying, and then at that point you gotta, free your hands of it. It's up to them.
Yeah,
Coach G.
that's it. When it comes to the parents, man, it just all we can do is just present them with the information and kind of if they do ask for our input, I'm gonna give my honest input. And if they don't like it, then I mean that's just I'm not sorry, but I mean, but it's going to eventually be up to that child every single day. I mean, you don't want a child to still be at your house when they had an opportunity to go get a full scholarship somewhere.
Right.
You're gonna be looking at us all crazy because Coach G didn't do this, Coach G didn't do that. But I mean, hey, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. I try my best to do things the right way. I try to make sure that we take care of each kid individually. We try our best to reach out to whoever the kids want us to reach out to. But when we got other schools that come in and they want a piece of that child and they're far away, I can't tell that school to stop coming recruit my kids because I got other kids coming behind him.
Right.
So if the parents want to be, kind of like the agent or the lawyers or whatever, and try to say that, oh, my child can't go here, can't go there. There's nothing that I'm gonna do about it. I'm not gonna do a thing about it because those 4 years are gonna fly by, and that child is gonna say, "Dang, man, I had a full scholarship to such, and I didn't go because my folks didn't want me to go.
Yeah.
Now, I feel sorry for the kid though, but that's the way life goes this time.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, Coach, real quick, man, you just hit on something as far as, it's a school that's going, you got other kids that's coming up in your program that they may come back and recruit on. Why is that important to maintain that relationship with those schools?
It's important because that's a livelihood that we just affected right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's somebody's. I mean, going to a JUCO or going to college to play basketball, and everything is paid for you. Now you get a chance to learn some different things in life. You're away from the city of Warner Robins. Whether it's 2 or 4 years, you're away from here, and you're going to get a chance to learn some things in life. So, it's a beautiful thing once they enjoy that process. Once they fall in love with the process and understand that you're gonna make some mistakes throughout that process, it's gonna be a beautiful thing once you stick through it.
Yeah. And as far as this a relationship that you have to build with those coaches to keep them coming back and
right,
giving your kids opportunities.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of times too, those coaches will call me and they'll ask me about players in the area. So a lot of times I'm not even talking about my own players. I'm talking about the 6'8" kid at Northside, the this, that kid from over here, this, that, and the other. So I'm always helping as far as I can. I know those guys don't play for me at all, but I don't care. They're coming from my city. So, I want them to be able to represent our city as well. Even the Middle Georgia area, too. A lot of kids are making. Talk a bunch about those kids there, man. Kids down in Taylor County. So, like when I get phone calls, man, I'm trying to push everybody's kids out there if I possibly can, including my own.
Coach Fox, you got similar situations or scenarios?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I speak highly of all the girls in this area because we've got some good coaches who know how to develop players and make sure they got good heads on their shoulders. So I definitely speak highly of girls in the Houston County area, Middle Georgia area. The other side of that too is making sure that we maintain these good relationships with college coaches. We have to be honest with them. And I don't think some of these players understand. You may have all this talent, but a coach is not going to want to deal with you if you're not a good team player, if you're not willing to make sacrifices, or if you got a bad attitude and don't respond well to officials. Like, we got to be honest about all that stuff. And I try to let mine know, if so-and-so comes calling, this is what I'm going to tell them.
I'm not going to lie.
So be prepared for it.
Exactly.
Because then if you do lie, then they're like, Coach, I thought this player was, this, that, and the other, and they came up here and they'll be upset with you. That's your credibility.
Yeah.
They also recruit the parents too now, so you sit up in them stands and be hollering and cussing if you want to while they at the game.
Yeah, going live all in the stands, and you up there trying to fight, and you cussing, and you showing out, thinking that they ain't watching between. They watching from your live too.
Yeah. They
watching. Yeah, man. That's a lot of money in that scholarship, man.
Yeah. Those folks said thank you.
I mean, we also tell the kids, like, listen, I mean, your parents ain't got to wake up at 5 o'clock and go do weightlifting.
They sure don't.
Then go to practice. Then go to class. Then go to lunch. Then go back to meetings. They ain't got to do all that. You got to do all that. So I tell them in a minute, that's a decision that you got to make now. I mean, I know you might not want to disagree with your parents and this, that, and the other, but your mom and dad ain't gonna be sitting up in that classroom about being there hitting them weights early in the morning like that. You got to do that.
Right.
You got to choose what you comfortable with. You got to be. I mean, we tell them all the time. You got to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
That's right.
And that's what you have when you go off to school.
Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, you got some parents that say, "Oh, nah, my kid ain't going JUCO. Oh no, my kid ain't going NAIA. No, my kid ain't going D2. All right.
Yeah, they already know the whole process, and they ain't never been to college. But
right.
They know how it is to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. You go into the weight room and you in there, like you said, man. I had to learn that when I got to Fort Valley, and that was a shell shock. Well, but once I got the hang of it, it's what it was.
Yeah.
Hey, you end up they be at DCU.
Mm-hmm.
Be at DCU now.
What's DCU tech?
The Crib University. Where they'll be at now.
DC.
Stars.
Hey, I'm
Star
talking
at
about
5.
Start.
5-star at the DCU
Yeah.
in the backyard.
Hey, real quick before we get out of here, I do want to ask Coach G, man. Marquez
Oh,
Callaway.
Lord. What about it?
Hey, he
You
balled
know,
out today, didn't he?
man, you know I was in here acting a fool. You know I was in here acting a fool watching my boy. Dude, boy, you crazy. I was here acting a fool, man. Yeah, he played, had a real good game today. He hurt his ankle towards the end of the game, so hopefully
Yeah.
everything will be all right. I'm waiting on him to shoot me a little text and say he all right. But you know, proud of that kid, man. Proud of him. I know some of my other guys that graduated from me just think I just like Marquez more than I like all of them. But I love all my boys, man. But
Right.
that cat right there he was always been special since he's in my 6th grade class, man. So
Yeah.
kind of reminds me of myself.
Coach, kind of talk about your relationship a little bit.
Me and Marquez, yeah, we like.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say like father and son because he's got an excellent dad. So it's like big brother, little brother, I guess, man. But with a huge age difference. But tell man, he's one of those kids that one of those young men now that shoot. He did it the right way. The Joker listened, man. He listened to every single thing we know we kind of advised him on. Of course, he listened to his parents too, but he was one of those ones that would call you and ask you for advice. He didn't have no pride about, man, coach just cussed me out. Coach just dogged me out in the locker room in front of everybody. Man, I don't want to talk to coach. I can't stand coach. He's not one of those type of kids, man. And so just where he is right now to this day, we always knew that it was for him, but he just had to stay focused on the process. The kids stayed focused, man, and now we get to see the benefits of it. And now he's even more focused now than he was before. So because he knows this was a dream of mine. Me and Marquez talk like I tell you, like brothers. And he knows that where he is right now was always a dream of mine that I never could make it. And now to see him have it, him be there, and now he's wearing my favorite number, which is 12 too. And it's just like, man, that's me out there right now. But it ain't me, of course. But you know what I'm saying? It's just he took what I couldn't do and took it to the next level. So I love that boy, man. I love that cat there now.
Yeah.
Anything for him. He know that too. I do anything for him. It don't even matter. I ain't going to jail for him, but I get somebody else to go for him. You know what I'm saying? I get somebody else to go for him.
Just about
He ain't got to worry
else.
about it. Yeah. He don't got to worry about that.
No, I think it's exciting for the area. And I think it was a couple weeks ago when they played the Chargers. I think it was like
him and
3,
Casey.
right?
Yeah.
I think it was 3 kids from, well, not kids, like you said, young men. 3 young men from this area that was actually playing against each other. And that was a Monday night game too, right?
Yeah, it was a Monday night game. The Broughton kid, the Broughton guy from Veterans, he was out there too, I believe.
Yeah. So that was exciting, man, just to see that this area is producing. But I kind of know, a little bit about the relationship that you and Marquez have, man. So I couldn't let you get off without bringing his name up.
Oh yeah,
Matter of
man.
fact, I think the last time you was on, I think he was over at your house, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was here. He was here. He was here eating before he got ready to go. So yeah, man. He always come home and call me, see where I'm at, and then we always get up and do something. We just sit around, watch TV, drink Capri Suns or something.
Right.
But it's always fun.
Opportunity, man.
Yeah, well, I like the Capri Sun because I'm playing good, man.
Capri Sun, I can't drink nothing around. AJ had a fool, boy. I met around to get one of the Capri Sun. It's almost like he counted before he go to bed.
What?
Up in the morning, Joe, hey, Daddy, you drunk one of my Capri Suns. Man, you can't count 30. Man, somebody, man.
Hey, he might not be able to count to 30, but he can subtract.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, boy.
This ain't working out. But yeah, Coach Fox, let me ask you: are y'all jumping in any tournaments?
We don't have a Thanksgiving tournament this year, but like I said, we're at Jones County, 21st, 22nd, 23rd. And I'd have to refer back to her email. I believe Valdosta's in that one too. I'm gonna say we see them enough, but So I know it's us, Jones, Valdosta. I want to say possibly Washington County, but I'd have to look back. So that it's going to be a good one. That Jones County tournament is always a good one.
Good. Hey, like I said before we get out of here, and I was gonna say my last bit, and I'm not talking about tickets no more, but to both Coach G and Coach Fox, both of y'all, if y'all got some potential kids that's coming out for tryouts tomorrow, what kind of message you want to leave with them tonight?
I say leave it all on the floor. There's no reason to save anything, especially with these current circumstances. You don't know what's going to happen the next day. Leave it all on the floor.
Exactly. Just go hard for it. Do what you're good at. Don't come out there trying to be a 3-point shooter and you can't shoot. That's not gonna get our attention right there. Those things are what excite us, man. We look for those small things. So we're hoping that all those kids come out tomorrow. Have your physicals. Make sure Dragonfly is up to date. Because if it ain't up to date, Tuesday you won't be in there. So make sure everything is on point because we're held accountable for it. So I got to make sure you do your part so we can do our part. But come out tomorrow and just play hard.
Yeah. Coach Tat, what you got?
Oh, that man, just appreciate him being on and talking about the upcoming season. That's all I got.
Coach G.
Yes.
Oh, my bad, Coach Charles G.
Yeah.
I was like, no, it's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure having you guys on the show. Coach Fox, I owe you another shootout. You put my foot last time, but my ankle was sore.
Oh, you see, I knew an excuse was coming. I knew an
make no
excuse was
excuses, man. You just take that L.
I'll take the L.
We can run it back though. We'll run it back.
Hey, wait a minute. You said that with too much confidence.
Hey, Charles, she got real serious with that.
Yeah. So yeah, no. Like I said, it's always a pleasure talking with the coaches, man. And I always take little nitbits here and there and can apply to what I'm doing, whether it's mentoring a kid or coaching a kid, whatever the case may be, because this is really big. It really is bigger than basketball. We just use this as a guide to help guide kids and make them better. So I appreciate you guys in that fashion as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, I think kind of to piggyback on what Charles said, me and him was kind of talking earlier today. Actually coming back from Atlanta, we were talking and just talking about trying to build this platform, right? And the platform was mostly about building the culture of basketball. So you two guys are kind of like I don't want to say landmarks, but you guys have a big influence on the culture of basketball in this area. As far as when we've had events that you guys have had kids are at, and you show up, right?
Yeah.
To make sure that they're in the gym to support them or whatever the case may be. That goes without saying. That goes a million miles. So if I'm a kid and I know I could potentially be playing for either one of you, and to see you in a gym at a camp or a workout or something along those lines, hey, my coach cares. So I salute both of you just from that standpoint of being in the gym, being dedicated to your craft, and being in it for the kids, definitely.
One more time, Coach. One more time, Coach.
What do you want me to say? What part?
What
whole
you
thing?
just said. The dedicated.
Right. I can't remember the whole thing.
We appreciate you, dog.
Right now. But I would say I appreciate you guys being pillars. Pillars, I guess that's the right word. Pillars in this community, in this movement, to making sure that the kids are seeing you. The kids are you guys are engaged with the kids, and ultimately, I think that makes the kids want to play harder for you guys when they come and actually play and make the team. It means more to them because you guys are out there. We see you, Coach Fox. I see you in the gym all the time. Coach G, I see you in the gym. And here's the thing though, when you come in the gym, it's not like I'm in the gym. It's kind of like you guys are sneaking in and almost sneaking out. But it's just the fact of the kids see you in the gym, and I think that goes a million miles to the good because they know, oh, my coach came in, so let me play a little harder, or coach, how did I do, or something along those lines. They're looking for any bit of feedback. And ultimately, that's going to make them better players. But more importantly, like, both of you guys and young lady, I don't mean the guys, but are on as far as making them people in the community, right? After basketball.
Right.
Making
Right.
sure that they're leaving it on
Absolutely.
the floor, making sure that they're going extra hard, but also giving them that support. So guess what? Yeah, I'm your basketball coach, but if something else is going on, let's talk about it so we can get you to go the right way.
I tell you what I do like when y'all come in the gym and them jokers they fooling around in the gym. Y'all come in, they lock up. I said,
Oh yeah, hey, we ain't playing. I'm not playing. If I'm wasting my time, if I'm using my time to come see you, your behind better be in there going all out. I'm talking about till I leave.
Right.
all the way out.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear none of that. I don't want no excuses. I don't do excuses too well, man. You can or you can't. It ain't no in between. There really ain't no in between. You
They
can or you
tighten up
can't.
quick.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Actions over excuses.
That's right. That's right.
Who that is? Somebody, who that was? Call me Zay.
Coach Fox, is that one of your players?
That's a
I don't know who
dude.
that is, man.
I don't know who that is either.
Well, whoever called me Zay, leave it on the floor, Zay.
Leave it on the floor.
Come in there and ball
Okay.
out.
Okay.
Okay, Zay.
All right.
I'm
Leave it
talking
on the
about.
floor, brother. All right, Zay.
We'll find out tomorrow, Ricky.
We'll find out tomorrow, Zay.
Yeah. So I'm always excited when you guys are on Xavier.
Roselle, Jack.
Oh, Rozier. Okay. All right. Yeah, you better leave it on the floor, boy.
Hey,
all right, we're gonna be watching.
Roselle, this is something right here you need to go ahead and realize. College coaches looking at your name. Put that back up there, Charles, one time. A college coach ain't gonna look at you and call you Zay.
Right.
He gonna want to know what your real name is.
Yeah.
So you better start figuring that out early, son. Call me Zay ain't gonna get you recruited. And Xavier Roselle will.
Hey, message. Social media message.
Yeah, that social media is a hell of a drug, boy. It's a hell of a drug, boy.
Call me Zay. All right.
If I can't find you easily, what's the easiest way for me to find you? By your real name?
Call me Zay ain't on your transcript.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a message for all the up and comers.
Yep. So do a quick little recap, man. Just I know Coach Tat was kind of talking about the 19 cardiac car
show.
Yeah.
November the 7th. I mean, if
the
you
9th,
got
man.
it,
7.
yeah, November 7th, right?
Yeah, November 7th. This is the 9th annual.
Yeah, if you got it, if you need any more information, it's your website, chippingaway.com. Got Miss Cent number right here. Give her a call. You want to put a car in the car show. I mean, it's going toward the good cause. Like I say, man, it gets bigger and better every year.
Cool.
Definitely.
And again, we can't emphasize enough to make sure that you vote. So make sure that you get out and go do those things. Again, here are the early voting sites. So make sure you get out and vote. Make sure your voice is heard.
That's right, man. Everybody go vote, man. Just go vote. Take time out. Go vote. No matter who you vote for, just go out and exercise your right to vote.
Yeah. I'm excited to see the young people that's getting out there, first time voters or whatever the case may be. I think that's exciting, man. Definitely get out there and exercise your right to vote.
Mm-hmm.
Exercise that right to vote, man. I seen Chris put somebody up to my AJ know how to count to 72.
Oh yeah. He can count 72.
He count to 100 and write his numbers up to 72. Well, that don't make too much sense. Now, if he can count to 100, he can count past 100, but on the right to 72. And we got to figure out what's going on in school.
Oh no, I ain't in that.
Yeah, we got to figure out what's going on in school.
Oh no!
He can't pass 100, but right up to 72. We got to figure out what's going on. I got to see what's going on with that. I got to check his report card. It's all A's, so then somebody
Not time for a Zoom meeting, cuz. Not time for a Zoom meeting, ain't it?
Yeah, I gotta have
Time
a
for a
parent
Zoom.
meeting. So I hope you still watching. I want a parent meeting with his assistant principal and his teacher tomorrow. If he can count to past 100 and only right up to 72, then that ain't gonna get it.
Hey,
What I'm gonna say is this. First of all, take out a picture. Shout out to
He'll try to
AJ.
get you to vote.
Vote.
He'll try to get you to vote, but he can count past 100, but can't write but the 72.
Hey, Tat, but here's the thing I'm gonna say on behalf of AJ and his teachers and assistant principal. It may be that he's only required to get to a certain point, and he's exceeding that by getting to 72.
Okay. That's a good say.
Well, I'm gonna find out.
That's a we ain't got to speculate. I'm gonna find out.
Good say that, man.
He come up here to my he don't like little baby, he like the baby. And you got to be right paying more than 72.
He don't like little baby. He like
he don't like little baby. He like the baby. He don't like little baby. So we're gonna
man. AJ, that's my dude, man.
Right past 72. We're gonna find out about that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Chris said calm down, he's 5.
He's 5. I'm trying to help Christy. Hey,
well, thank y'all guys.
Yeah, appreciate y'all coming on, man. And I will tell my mom that she can't. My mom can't whoop me no more. I got too old for that. But
you on your own on that one, Ted.
Hey, look, real quick.
I know she probably watching too. She can't whoop me no more.
Ted, I'm trying to get you out of this. Just listen to me,
man,
real quick.
I'm pretty sure she'll be calling in a few minutes, but she still can't whoop me no more. I got my last whooping at 26. Man.
What?
Hey,
you're crazy, man.
What?
Did you say you got your last whooping at 26?
26, yeah. I was acting up, man, and she kind of caught me 2 times with the belt.
Oh my gosh.
I wasn't looking. But
hey, we go get out of that. Hey, so the middle school camp, Charles, you got that flyer? I don't know if you got that flyer. That's kind of throwing you off guard, man. But you're the producer. But we got the middle school camp coming up November 7th.
We do as well.
Sold out. It is sold out, man. But we just want to kind of keep talking about it. With us having the uncertainty of what the middle school basketball season is going to look like and all these things, take advantage of these opportunities. So we got the middle school up next, preview camp coming up November 7th. Shout out to Wasey again, Hype South. We're putting it on, trying to get these kids exposure, get them out there in front of people, man. So definitely stay tuned for that. There'll be a lot of videos and clips and write-ups and all of those things coming out on that, man. So that's a good look for us as well. Again, just going back to moving the culture in the Middle Georgia area. That's what all of this is about. So definitely. Coach Fox, I hope to see you in the gym for that, as well as Coach G. I hope to see you in the gym for that.
You know I'll be there.
Sounds good.
Yeah, definitely. So I don't have anything else. Coach G, you got anything else?
No, I'm talking to me.
Yep, I'm talking Charles. I'm sorry, Charles G.
Yeah, I'm all good, man.
You good?
Yeah.
Coach Tat, what about you?
No, man, all good, man. Like you say, man, it's middle school preview coming up. Can't wait to see those young guys, man. It's gonna be the high school before you know it at each one of these schools in the county and surrounding counties. So can't wait to see what's happening with that. So
yeah. So again, shout out to our guests, Coach Garman and Coach Fox. We wish you nothing but success for this upcoming year. Let's go as far as possible. We'll after the show, make sure you have the right spellings for our names, so we're on that list. But other than that,
We're gonna always slide a little slick one in there. Boy, you quick, boy. Quick,
I
boy.
thought he
Quick.
said he was done.
I thought he did too.
Mm-hmm.
This is the outro. I was done doing the body of it, but the outro, we just got to reiterate.
One more time. One more time. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, but definitely shout out to our sponsors, man. Hype South Media, Hype South Skills Live, KPB Design, 619 Training. As like I said, viewers, we appreciate you guys always tuning in. I didn't hear from our favorite viewer tonight, but I'm sure he's on the hook somewhere and have some questions for us as well.
Bruce.
Bruce. Yeah, Bruce. But hey, we appreciate y'all. Check us during the week to see who we're gonna have on our next episode, man. We're gonna try to bring y'all some more heat, some more information as far as pushing this culture ahead. Nothing else to say, man. We out of here. Peace.